Alright, so we're back into another Dragon Ball Super card game video. This one is a DBS shenanigans. I haven't done this in a hot minute. I've been meaning to do these, and as well as set 8 rulings. I totally skipped out on the set 7 deck, or set 7 rulings that you should know. I apologize. If you want to see that, definitely let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. We're so close to 4K. I can feel it. I can reach out and feel its soul, so that way I can get to 5K. Today we're gonna go and take a look at 3 different ways to abuse this card that we're looking at right now. This one is the Heartfelt plea, in which is a 5-drop. It has a good amount of outs to it, but I think it's a very, very strong card, especially if you aren't ready for it, or especially if you're getting caught off guard on it. There are some decks that should just look at you look at it and it's like, okay, it's built for that. 2 of those decks is the Goku and Pan, and as well as the new baby, the starter baby. Obviously, you already know me. I'm not showcasing those. What I'm showcasing are 3 different memes in which you should probably consider and kind of open your head and mind to how to use this card in general. A really quick rundown is that it is a 1 red, 2 yellow, 5 costs, and it's a multicolor, so it's a 1 cost. You already know the drill. It's a triple striker, which is just busted at 30k. It does have energy exhaust, so you know, offering that you draw 2, and then they either crit 1 or draw 2. Most of the time, you're going to be drawing 2. It is so annoying when they crit 1 because you do want to see those 2 cards. He's recently had an errata in which you can only play this if you do not have a card or Super Saiyan 4 Goku in play for the duration of the turn. And just so I'm not talking out of my ass, it is not for the duration of the turn, but if it's not in the battle area already. And of course, when you're with this weird new auto arrangement, when your leader card activates Awaken, you can go ahead and play this from your hand after you choose one of your red battle cards with 25k power or more, and then place it in the drop area. So what happens is that you awaken, or the opponent awakens, and as soon as that happens, they can go ahead and choose one of their red battle cards, send it to the drop, and then you play this from your hand. The thing about it is that this automatically becomes a dead card unless you have another way to play it out, or if you just hardcast it, basically. I mean, the other part of it is that it, like I said, it does have outs to Champa. It does have outs to the new 1-cost Crusher Ball or Crusher Ball. It does have outs to Arrival, in which the Goku, and as well as I think one other rival card, the the blue-green Goku that is a 5-cost, can go ahead and use, or go ahead and put this into their energy and just stop the attack altogether and drop you a card. But neither here nor there. This card is like 20 bucks right now. I think it's personally going to be going down to about 10, maybe less than that. Here's a few ways to play it. The first one features this one, which is Kid Goku, and it's interesting to take to kind of look at it. It is one of the most basic Kid Goku builds that I've made in a long time, but I think it is pretty cool. Let's go and sort by color because this is really throwing me off. No, just okay. That we're just gonna do that. All right. This one is red and blue with a pretty minimal amount of blue. I think really the blue is just there to use Bean, and I'll kind of explain that in a second. It really features all of the Kid Goku stuff, from the vanillas to the Kid Gokus to the Android 8, etc. But the thing about this one is the way you play it for the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, in which I think this is probably the best version out of the 3, is that you play the Kid Goku first turn, and then you search for a ball. The next turn, you go ahead and use the Kid Goku effect to get out a Super Zarbon or whatever else 3-drop that you want to use, as long as there's a red 30k. And then if they attacked you twice at this point, then you can go ahead and awaken, and at that time you want to mulligan for at least one of the Super Saiyan 4 Gokus. After you swing with the Super Zarbon, you then can go ahead and awaken and play out the Goku. And if you have a Bean, you can go ahead and extend your play, swing at the leader or with the leader, use the Kai for double strike, use the Bean, and then get him down to 3, because at that point they should be down to 3, just depending on what leader you're going against. And then you swing with the Goku for game. but that's really just perfect scenario, like if you're attacking, if they're taking life, etc. I think turn 3 is probably a little bit better. The reason why we play the digging deep is so that way you can get to 6 or less a little bit more quickly, or even at 4 if you don't have a vanilla in the drop. The other part of that is that as soon as you awaken, or if you're at 4 energy and you play digging deep, you swing, you take the 1 or 2 life, whatever that you need, and then you bean. Now use a 25k body for that turn, and then now you can go ahead and use the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But really, I think the Super Zarbon is a little more consistent and more easy, because as long as the Kid Goku sticks, you should be good. And then we have Combination Attack, which is my favorite extra card, that's blue and red. We have Krillin as just filling the board and getting some use out of the 2 drops. We have Kaba, so that way you have a easy 1 cost body that can awaken you. And then you can put 2 beans on it if you really want to do that, and then use the Super Saiyan 4 and then awaken. I mean, there's no, I mean, it's for the turn, so you know, you get me. And then we have a bunch of other Kid Goku stuff. There's not much to really talk about other than Super Kamehameha that's new. I think this one is pretty cool because you can then, since Super Saiyan 4 Goku is pretty much dead, the Awakened Leader effect can use his 4-star ball and then pitch into the drop. And overall, it's pretty cool. Like, Topo's being played, like, it's just a regular Kid Goku deck. I think this is very much playable. I played it a number of times. It's not too bad compared to the other 2, in which, let's take a look at those. I think this one is interesting, and if you play it, you'll kind of see where I'm going with it. This one's Pan, and you can kind of understand where I'm going as far as establishing the digging deep from familiar bonds, and then using the the King Vegeta as well. You can always play this at a 3, but then you can combo out the Great Ape or the Combination Attack over here, Pan, and then go ahead and get out the King Vegeta, in which on your turn or their turn, well, on your turn, it is 20k, and then it gets boosted to 25. You draw 2 cards, and then right after that, you can go and swing with it, and then use the Super Saiyan Goku if you are at 4 or less life. But really, the biggest thing is the digging deep, that you swing, and then you're now at 25 after the leader effect. You only pay 2 with the familiar bonds. You have the 4-star balls just as easy combo fodder, and as well as filtering and cycling. And then you play Topa on their turn in case you want to go ahead and go for the long game. The Goku is here for arrival fodder, so is the Champa, but you do draw 2 on their turn, and as well as the 15k. Or yeah, you get what I'm saying. And then we also play 3 Beerus Ball, because the reason for that is because by the time that you do get the Goku out, since it doesn't have deflect, you want to use the Beerus Ball for any Champa or any other response that makes him into or goes into rest mode, or really any other response that they have on your turn. Of course, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku can search out the top 5 for a Pan or Son Goku, which you do have the Pan over here, and the Goku's over here. The reason why we play the triple flash is that if this guy stays on board on the next turn after you swing with this triple strike and offering, or you get the draw 2 from the offering or the crit, then you can go ahead and evolve on this guy, play the combination attacks, and then just go for game from there. Later into the game, you can use the Great Apes on Goku's, and that's it. Like, that's the deck. There's not really much to talk about it, right? This is definitely not 100% as far as what I'm really looking forward to do, or the perfect build for this, but it is pretty cool, and I think people might be trying to play a red-yellow Pan with the Super Saiyan Heartfelt. Yeah. This is the 3rd video in a row I'm recording. Just give me a break. This one is chilled. We have apes, chilled apes. So if you haven't really understood, or haven't really seen this, the premise of this is basically you establish apes and then you go from there. That's it. The Heartfelt plea combination here is that on turn 1 or 2, so probably turn 2, you're going to be comboing a red and yellow, get this guy out, and then evolve with this guy, and with the 10k leader on both sides, they're going to be swinging as much as possible. You're going to get the 6 or less. There's no problem with that. If you did have a problem with that, just use Saiyan Kaba, and as soon as you evolve onto this guy, since it has barrier, you don't really need to worry about it being removed. You swing with this guy as long as they don't have blue-green and respond with the revival. You then go ahead and awaken, draw 2, use the Heartfelt plea right after that. and then swing with triple strike. If you do it right, you can kind of do everything. Like if you charge these two, like the perfect turn looks like you charge these two, they swing twice by turn 2 or 3. On that second swing, you play out the King Vegeta and as well as the baby. And then on your turn, you have 3 energy. You evolve on this guy, or on this guy, you draw 1, you swing with double strike 25,000, you awaken, you get the Goku out. Right after that, you evolve on top of, or you evolve this guy on top of this guy. And then during this time when you swing, you have these chill tokens. You basically go ahead and swing with everything you have and then combo everything that you have in your hand because they're all 1k Saiyan cards. The Saiyan, the Bardock over here is just there because it's one of the most broken cards in Apes and just for yellow in general. And then we have the baby at 2. If you get to 5 energy, which is pretty possible for this as long as you establish the ape first, you can go ahead and use the activate battle, pitch 3 cards, take a life, and then neg their leader 20k, and then swing with all your tokens from there. The Awaken Bardock is there because you're going to be using a lot of cards to arrive or use arrival, and then by that time you're going to want to filter out the 1 cost that you don't need, especially the Goku over here. And then we have this guy that searches the King Vegeta, the baby, the Heartfelt plea, the other baby. You get the idea, and as well as a super combo, and then Kaba to awaken a little more quickly. And that's pretty much it. Like, these aren't really deck profiles, they're really more conceptual ideas that I want to throw out to everybody. These they are all 3 decks. Like, I think they are okay bases. The only issue with this one is that it has a lot of 1Ks. The issue with Pan is that it does have a lot of 1Ks, but I don't think it has the traditional Pan effect in which you're sort of playing tempo wise. You're just sort of doing what you want to do as far as like the idea, like you want to get the Super Saiyan 4 out and just win the game. And then Goku is probably the most built out of the 3. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think from these 3 different ideas? Have you had any other ideas as far as Super Saiyan 4? I'm very curious. By the time this is out, I think the sets should be out as well. I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break because I'll be out of town. Let me know what you want to see in these next coming weeks, and thank you for watching. Later.